Jangbi versus Kwanro here. Jangbi with 20 wins this season in the Pro League. He's been having probably the best season he's ever had right now. He's boosted his PVT to an astounding 72% win rate with that 7-1 record. Wow. Really amazing. Look at his PvP too, 6-1 versus Zerg 7-5. Just a very, very nice run this season for Jangbi. Of course, making it into the GOM TV finals, not bad either. And I believe still alive in one of the 2 Star Leagues. Haven't paid attention to that actually. I don't remember exactly whether he's alive or not. But he's going to be facing Kwanro here, who is trying to warm up his hands still. I'm a little bit surprised after the last game that his hands aren't warmed up. He was, doing some lightning micro there with his defilers in the lane game. Very nice play. Jangbi, though, is going to be a very strong opponent from the face. Arguably better even than Firebat Hero recently. Just going by recent performance, at least. Jangbi, of course, 61% lifetime stats against Zerg. So not poor there either, obviously. And I really am expecting a good match here on Medusa. Gonna be very balanced, I think, to start off with. With the 2 races at least. I'm gonna have to say that Jangbi is a big favorite for me, but so was Firebat Hero, to be honest. And Jangbi is actually, yes, he has moved on in the MSL, and has he moved on in the OSL? No, he did make it into the round of 16 of the OSL. Yeah, that's right. So he obviously didn't move on, but managing to beat Frozian, not necessarily the biggest accomplishment, but somebody had to do it in the MSL. Someone had to take out the trash, and Jangbi did that 2-0 against Frozian, winning on Destination and Byzantium too. Yeah, that's pretty standard. So, Jangbi, let's see if he manages to take out Kwanro here in this game, Game 6. Kwanro spawning here as a Zerg player. Let's see where his location, upper right, and Jangbi here at the 6. Medusa, I feel like this is one of the best maps around nowadays. Destination I also really like. I've been playing a good amount of Destination, but I really like Medusa. It's just, it's fun for Zerg and Protoss. It sucks for Terrans, but Zerg and Protoss like it. And of course, the temples have led us to a lot of creative games, both in the foreign and the pro scenes. The Zerg generally go for a 3-hatch opening here, and then they afterwards go into the 5-hatch build. That seems to be very good. They really need to be able to defend against Corsair Reaver, so that is a very solid build against Corsair Reavers. If you go for Scourge first, and then you get Mass Hydras in the mid game, try to pick up expansions, and then just prevent the toss from killing off too much of your army. Because the toss really just doesn't get a big enough force of his own to actually, to be able to really attack you. I guess really you don't want the toss to kill off your expansions, is what I mean to say. But we're not going to be seeing that from Kwanro. Kwanro going to go for an Overpool again, Overpool Gas. I love this. He could use the same build for all 3 matchups. And in fact, this is one of my favorite builds. If you ever play me, chances are you're going to see this, no matter what race you are playing. Overpool Speed. It's just a fun build. Very aggressive build, obviously, and if you upgrade speed and then pull your drones off gas, you can still expand, and if you do some damage, you can still sort of play an economic game. I like it better than 9-pool gas. The timing is not that much different, and you do get, I believe, 2 extra drones this way, so, I like it better, but, obviously, pros often go for 9-pool because it's just that couple of seconds faster, and sometimes in pro games that makes all the difference. And Jangbi now has spotted it, of course. He's probably going to react correctly. Seeing the gas especially, he's going to be wary here of a Zergling run by or a Zergling kill. And there are the Zerglings morphing. And there, of course, are the drones being pulled off gas once they get 100 gas. So we're going to see Jangbi doing the right thing. Going to put up 2 cannons before Nexus. This is the correct move against an Overpool speed like this. Against Overpool on some maps, without speed, you can go cannon, Nexus cannon. But with speed and on Medusa, it is the better idea to go like this. And looks like he's actually not going to have needed to do that so early, because Kwanro is going to spend the time trying to kill off the scouting probe. He's also trying to expand, but I think the drone got a bit lost there. Or maybe he's just trying to hide it, I'm not sure. Yeah, now he's going to actually put down the expansion. And, I'm expecting Kwanro to put up a little bit more pressure here. Part of the reason why he wants to kill off the probe is because he doesn't want Jangbi to know how many lings he's producing. And now Jangbi knows he has at least 8 lings, which is almost enough for a run by. If he sees 10 or 12, he's going to know a run by is definitely coming, and he's going to pull drones then, pull probes then, and try to kill off the the Zerglings before they get through. And here he goes, still trying to catch that probe. Very nice micro there by Jangbi. Loses the probe though. 1 speed is done, of course. And are we going to see the run by is the question here from Kwanro. Kwanro looks like he is sort of just content killing off the scouting probes. That's not a bad way of playing either. It's certainly viable also, but he hasn't managed to do that right now. At least he didn't keep any in his base, so right now his early speed has really not benefited him that much. Although it looks like he has convinced Jangbi that he's going to need to pull 3 probes and block his entrance. Play it safe. Now the lings are going to come back and kill off that probe. Yeah, there we go. There's all 8 lings. I don't think he produced any more. So, relatively standard opening now for both players. We're going to see a 3 hatch from Kwanro, and we're going to see the standard. Most likely going to start with Corsairs. I'm going to guess Corsair Reaver from Jangbi. It is a good map for that build. Just because you can get behind the Zerg base, and because the middle of the map is kind of hard for the Protoss to move around with like, say, a speed lot force or an early game Zealot, Archon, Templar force or something like that. It gets surrounded too easily. So Corsair Reaver seems to be the standard for Protosses on this map. Although I could be wrong, of course. Jangbi, he certainly has a lot of options, and I'd say he's a smidgen ahead right now, a tiny bit ahead. So I don't know how many of you guys watch the Discovery Channel, but I gotta say, the Mantos, make a random Mantos reference, he is seriously Bear Grylls. I really think that pretty much Bear Grylls is one of the coolest people on TV. Of course, I'm talking about Man vs. Wild, the dude who eats anything he sees. He sees like a random spider. He's like, this is a large tarantula, but it's a vital source of vitamins, so I'm gonna go and eat it. And he eats it. He sees like a dead animal. He's gonna eat the maggots off of it. He sees a snake, poisonous snake. He's gonna go and hit it with a stick and eat it. The man will probably eat anything, and so will the Mantos. I'm certain the Mantos either is Bear Grylls, which is the mask, or is his advisor. Because no one gets that manly without Reach being around, also Reach having a piece of that. Anyway, we're going to see actually not Corsair Reaver from Jangbi. We're actually going to see a Templar build here. It's going to get the Citadel of Adun. And Kwanro going to go on a fruitless mission here to kill off those temples with lings. I mean, with 11 temples there, or 10, or whatever it is, I think it's 11 actually, you really can't kill them with lings, especially this late, if you're starting off this late. It's really, I think, maybe just to scare Jangbi into building a cannon or something, but, it's not going to work if Jangbi cares about it, if he does anything. So, there he goes, keeps on killing that off. No den yet for Kwanro, just Aspire up. He has gone for that 5-hatch build that we all know and love now, and now the Den and Evo Chamber go up, so this is a very, very standard timing completely for this build. And, this game has really reset in many ways. Kwanro might lose a couple of Overlords here. He's going to probably lose them to either the Corsairs or this Dragoon, possibly. He might be hiding that Corsair, though, away from Scourge, because there will be Scourge coming out. Oh, looks like he's going to go right for it. That is one Overlord that is quite lucky. Flies in, but manages to fly out also. And probably going to get sniped, though, by that Corsair. And here we're seeing a cannon going up, so that's going to stop the lings from killing off that many temples. I think they might have gotten 4 or something. And Kwanro going to get chased away also. A lot of High Templar coming out, so we are going to see that Archon timing push. This is a timing push from the Protoss where they get 2 Archons and a handful of Zealots, maybe a Dragoon or 2, and then they try to do some damage to the Zerg. It's especially effective if the Zerg chose to take a 3rd base, or in this case a 4th base. A base that's not their, around their main, basically, because they can. This force can actually take down a huge number of Zerglings and a small number of Mulisks also. Not so good against mass Hydras, obviously, though. And in fact, we don't see a lot of Hydras here, so this force could do a good amount of damage. Those 2 Archons are looking mighty pretty scary there to the handful of Mutalisks that Kwanro has. I'm not sure though, because Kwanro might be able to defend there with his Sunkens, and then he might be able to do a lot of damage in the back here. And wow, he is going to do some damage to the back of Jangbi's base. Jangbi doesn't have anything now defending his main, and he might actually lose this Nexus if Kwanro decides to go for it. No, it looks like he is going to bring back one Archon to deal with this. But look at this. Interesting enough, Kwanro is going to lose his temple. So, Jangbi choosing to kill off his temples, and Archons obviously are very good against those temples. Their splash damage will kill all of them off. Basically, by killing one of them off, you're going to get all of them. And, he's going to be able to do a big attack in the back here. That's the last temple, it should be. Yeah, and there we go. Last temple going down. So, Kwanro could be in big trouble. I don't know if he's seen this coming. If he hasn't seen this, the back of his... Oh, my God, he has not seen this. He does not know this is coming. It's going to be absolutely horrible for him when he finds out. And there he goes. He's actually going to probably lose that hatchery, if not more. He's got a ton of Lings, but Lings are not very good against this force here. This is like the best anti-Ling force ever. Archons and Zealots, of course. Probably +1 also. Actually, I don't see +1 yet. A couple of Mutas trying to get in the action here. He needs to surround that Archon, though, and take it out. Otherwise, that Archon is just going to kill everything. And looks like he does lose that expansion and a number of his forces. So now Jangbi has retaken the lead in this game, I feel. He's got his third up now, and, he didn't lose that many probes. I think... I just don't like the Mutalisk switch there. I think Jangbi was too ready for Mutalisk, and Kwanro was trying to surprise Jangbi with his Mutas, but he didn't. When he saw the Archons, he should have known that Mutas weren't going to work, and he should have just gone for Hydras instead, which is obviously the standard move. He's going to get some Lurkers right now. I bet he skipped the Hydra upgrades other than Lurkers. I bet he's not going to get speed Hydras or range, but again, that's not orthodox for this map. In general, we do see mass Hydras on this map. Just because of the maneuverability the center of the map provides, it helps a lot to go Hydras. And instead, he's going to be going for a Contain here with Lurkers. I don't know, though, if this is going to work. He might decide to break the back, actually. That's one thing Lurkers are very good for. And it looks like he is going to be deciding to do that. He is going to try to break the temples in the back. Jangbi does not have observers, I think, so he's going to have to let it happen, pretty much. Or he's just going to go on the warpath and try to take out another base at the upper left, perhaps. No, it looks like he's actually going to run them back. Run them out and run them back. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, he's actually gotten a number of them into the back again of Kwanro's base. And Kwanro, once again, does not suspect this happening. He might lose that hatchery yet again. That'll mean his one base, well, now barely tied with the Protoss if he loses this. But really, he's way behind the Protoss in terms of actual economy. And Kwanro is probably going to lose this because I think Jangbi is just going to pound away. Yeah, no, Jangbi, don't go for anything else. Oh, no, actually, he has to go for something else. Never mind, there's enough forces there. Jangbi not going to be able to take it out with that many forces converging in that position. And now Jangbi has lost his temples. But I think he knows this is coming. He's got a ton of cannons and High Templar there in the back. This is not going to do anything. These 4 Lurkers are going to do jack squat here. And, yep, they're just probably going to get stormed. And one Zealot is causing havoc at the upper left also. Just 3 Mutalisks left in the air for Kwanro. So, really, this is going to be tough here. But, Kwanro certainly has surprised me in the last few games against Firebat Hero and Stork, both of whom I thought were favorites against him. So, he might surprise me still and come back in this game, although it's looking less and less likely with the more damage that Jangbi does. I mean, just look at this. Jangbi continues to just get annoying units into his base just to annoy him, and he's been untouched virtually. And here we go. Here's the big attack with the observers out now. These Mutalisks trying to snipe off the High Templar. It's a smart move, but nice storm there on the Hydras. I think the Observer is still alive, and that is going to be critical. Since the Observer didn't get stormed to death, it almost got stormed to death. It's going to be a spot for these Lurkers, and I just don't know if what's his face, Kwanro has enough to defend here. Kwanro, definitely has a different style than Savior does, or Effort. Definitely interesting style. These 3 Zergs on CJ. everyone is very different, I gotta say. Savior, I'd be expecting, you know, more of a mass unit kind of approach. Maybe Lurkers or Masslings, but I certainly wouldn't have expected Mutas, especially. I think Savior's game sense is just so solid that having seen those Archons, he probably wouldn't have gone for Mutas. Effort, of course, plays a much more macro game. I would probably have expected him to go, 5 hatch, obviously, but probably go for a 12 hatch or something to start off with. Probably wouldn't have gone for an overpool speed. But, these small variations do make a difference. And I think Effort right now, if Savior's on his top game, I think he's the best Zerg, but Effort right now is more consistent still, although that could change the further Savior gets in the MSL. Anyway, here is the large mid-game army here and mid-map army for Jangbi. Falling asleep here, sorry. Not because this game is boring, because I am actually very tired. But looks like here is one observer in the back and one lurker trying to defend the back of the base here. And Kwanro with really a lot of nothing here. This whole game he's been just behind, and since losing those temples, man, I mean, that was pretty much it for him. Losing that back expansion and then not being able to do anything with his mutas, bad move for him. And looks like he's not going to be able to get any further, although he's done very good service for his team by knocking out Stork and Firebat Hero. He is going to lose this game. All his forces getting killed from the front and back. He's definitely pulling a very valiant defense here, but he hasn't managed to kill the observers critically. The observers still were alive, and they still managed to kill these lurkers off. Although there's 3 more lurkers coming in from behind. The front is now entirely breached, and once more observers come in, that'll be it. The Zealots are going to clean up here against all these drones. And, there's really not much that he can do other than GG, or maybe stay an entire Jangbi out. Looks like no, he's going to do the right thing, and GG. So, very well played game by Jangbi, I gotta say. This kid is on fire, despite obviously not winning the GOM Invitational. He's still, not Invitational, GOM Classic, and, he still is kicking butt. And who else but Effort is he going to face in the next game? That's right, the last remaining Zerg on CJ, and this should be an incredible matchup. I'm looking forward to it. Stay tuned.